My name is Ida Reis, and I'm a certified divorce lending professional. And this interview is part of a series to help families that are in the midst of divorce or getting started on that path, or maybe in the middle of it and at the end of it, to get information to make decisions. And today I have with me Robin Arnone. And welcome, Robin.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you.
Robin, would you kindly tell us a little bit about what you do and your practice?
Sure. I've been a real estate appraiser for about 19 years. I started my own practice in 2014. And I've been, I'm located, my office is in Howard County, but I do cover Central Maryland. I cover 10 counties centrally.
That's awesome. That's great. Lots of experience. And why did you expand your practice to include divorce cases?
It's a good idea to not just have lender work, to have private appraisals done for various reasons. Sometimes it's, you make relationships with attorneys and you'll have for estate planning, for divorce, and it's just a nice change from lender work.
That's great. So tell us a little bit, because most of us are familiar with doing a mortgage loan, either a refinance or a purchase, and the lender orders an appraisal in most cases, and that appraisal then goes directly to the lender, and eventually it ends up with the client. But how does a divorce appraisal? How is it different than that kind of an appraisal?
The only difference is really the form. There is a lender form, and then there is a private form that is non-lender. But the basic information is exactly the same. It's just a different name of the form. But I am treating it the same as far as when I go and I do the inspection of the home. I'm observing everything exactly the same.
Okay. So can you give us a quick summary of like what's in an appraisal? Some people might not know that. For example, that you collect data and then you go and look for a history of sales. So can you just kind of elaborate that a little bit?
Sure, I'm going to show up to the property. I'm going to do it's not a home inspection. It is just an overview of the home. I do like to take a picture of each room. That is for my records, and that's also kind of for everyone else's records as well, to be able to say, okay, this was the condition of the property when I viewed it. And then, yes, I'm going to look for recent comparables in your market area. I try to describe it to people as if if a realtor is showing your house, what are the other houses they might show their client? And those are going to be your comparables.
Okay. And in a divorce appraisal, who is the client, and how is that different than a lender appraisal?
That varies. The client for me is whoever orders the appraisal from me. Sometimes it's the attorney, sometimes it's one spouse, sometimes it's both spouses. It's whoever orders the appraisal, but then I can also add a user. That is a difference. On a lender form, the lender is the client. That's it. On a private appraisal, I can add who can also be a user of that appraisal, whether it be the attorneys, the real estate agents involved that are going to sell it, the homeowners.
Okay. So why is the differentiation between who is the client important? Like, what does that mean in divorce?
It just means in any appraisal, it just means I'm not allowed to speak of the details of the appraisal to anyone other than the client or the added users.
Okay. So, and then when a lender orders it, it's the property of the lender.
Correct.
When a client or an attorney order it, then they can talk to you about a particular detail or something in the appraisal. Right?
Correct.
Okay, that's a great distinction. So if someone is going down this path of divorce, can you elaborate on maybe what should they think about in doing that, and what might help them get prepared to have you do the appraisal?
Well, I know it's a very emotional time for people. But for my part, I like people to try and stay as factual as possible. I really don't need the details. I actually would prefer not to know the details of even like who, if someone's buying someone out. I don't need to know any of that. That doesn't alter the appraised value. I would like to know the facts about the property, updates that have been done, and things like that. Nothing other than that. And I'd like people to make a list, and both spouses can make a list if they would like. And, just allow me to do my inspection. And really, that's it.
Perfect. Do you have any other thoughts that we would benefit the audience? Anything else that you think would be a benefit to the audience?
Honestly, this is just something like for anyone, like a good thing. And it's not necessarily like, to plan for a divorce, but make it an ongoing list of your updates of your home, so that you're not sitting there, and especially in an emotional time, fighting with your spouse on when the roof was replaced or when that.
Yeah.
As you do things, make a spreadsheet and just a running list of things that are done to the home. And then that makes it really easy. So in a time where you're fighting about everything, maybe my part you don't have to fight about.
Yeah, we do things and then we tend to lose the records sometimes, or put them in a safe place we can't find. So
Yes.
yeah. So, well, I want to thank you so much, Robin, for your time today. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you about appraisals and how how the divorce client can benefit from it. And we really appreciate that. How would the audience get in touch with you if they wanted to?
I do not have a private website. You can either do a Google search for me, and that will have my contact information, Robin Arnone, Arnone. You can also find my information, my credentials in the mdappraisers.org website.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Robin. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.